Yes.
You okay, big camera?
What is up, GCL family? Say family. So for those of you who do not know, my name is Gwen. I have a 4-month-old named Kavan, and I have a 2-year-old named Leo. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys. Well, today I'm going to be telling you guys my pregnancy story at age 18 with Leo. I'm going to start by saying me and Leo's biological dad are not together anymore. And Kavan is not Leo's biological dad, but he's been there for Leo since Leo was 9 or 10 months. So Leo looks at him as a father. I'm trying to eat you. So, anyway, we were together for 2 years. What are you doing? We were together for 2 years, and I didn't get pregnant that whole time period. But the day after my 18th birthday, the day after my 18th birthday, I decided to go get a pregnancy test because I hadn't been feeling too well. I was going to sleep really, really early every day. I would go to sleep at like 6 p.m., sometimes even 5, or sometimes even right after I got off work, I would go to sleep. And that wasn't common for me. So, anyway, I had just got off work. I went to go pick up a pregnancy test. I was working at Burger King at the time. I started working there at as soon as I turned 17. I went and got a job at Burger King. So, you keep distracting me because you're so cute. So, I went home. First place I went was to the bathroom. I put all my stuff down in the bathroom, still had on my uniform, and I took the pregnancy. Well, I peed on the stick. I stood up. Shut up. I stood up, and shoot, this is like my 3rd time making this video. I'm tired.
So that's what you want to say?
Yep, I peed on the stick. That's what everybody say. So I took the test. And I stood up, I looked in the mirror, I was like twiddling in the bathroom for a little bit because I was like, I'm not pregnant. My cycles were always like all messed up anyway. And it just got normal, started to regulate around that time. But I had missed that cycle, so I was like, I thought things were starting to, get normal. So anyway, I looked at the pregnancy test and I saw 2 lines and I started overheating. I think I had took off my work shirt and everything. I was like, what the heck? I'm pregnant? So I went and I talked to my roommate about it because at the time we were staying with roommates. And she was like, what, girl? She was like, drink a whole lot of water and go take your other pregnancy test that came in the box. So I was like, oh my goodness, okay. So I went and did that. And sure enough, it was 2 lines on that text too. So I just didn't know what to do. I think I was crying, I was laughing, I was just like, I thought I was losing my mind, yo. So I called Leo's dad and I told him about it. I called his job actually because he wasn't picking up his cell phone. And at the time he was working at McDonald's and he was shocked too. He didn't believe me, but he was happy at the same time. So yeah, I found out I was pregnant with Leo. A few days later, I went to the hospital, just to make sure everything was okay and, if I was really pregnant. So they told me I was pregnant too. They gave me an ultrasound and I saw him for the first time and I got to hear his heartbeat on the little monitor. I think I was already 1 month pregnant with Leo. Well, actually, I was like 6 weeks pregnant with Leo. And so, yeah, we started telling family. I told my mom, told my dad. I was actually kind of scared of how they would react. But they didn't really do anything major because I had just turned 18. It was the day after my 18th birthday. Yeah, mommy kiss. So, yeah, I worked my entire pregnancy with Leo. I worked at Burger King my entire pregnancy. It was a bit overwhelming, but I was like, I gotta tighten up. I gotta get myself together so I can be able to provide for my child. So, but I had a lot of help from Leo's grandma. And to this day, I still do. She still helps me a lot with Leo. She comes to get him and everything. Did you have to go do your hair so you could be in the video?
Yes.
So, I keep saying so. I'm sorry, y'all. Is it still recording?
Yeah. You don't see the baby though.
I know because I got him sitting down. So, yeah. I worked. And the day I went into labor was the day that I went to the doctors. They had sent me to the hospital because my blood pressure was real high. And when I went to the hospital, they were like lollygagging, basically trying to push me to the side, and they sent me home saying that nothing was wrong and my blood pressure had went back to normal. But a couple of hours later, I was watching one of my uncle's rap videos, and he cannot rap. I was laughing my butt off. Me and Leo's dad was laughing. And I just, got this real bad pain out of nowhere. And I knew what Braxton Hicks felt like. So I was like, this ain't no Braxton Hicks. Am I, losing a baby or something? So I was like, okay, maybe I'm tripping. I went to go take a shower. And then I just kept having to go to the bathroom over and over again. And my mom told me that when you have to go to the bathroom a lot, you're cleaning yourself out for the baby. Your body's preparing itself for you to go into labor. So I started throwing up. I was throwing up over and over again. I think I even peed on myself because I was throwing up so much. And I was like, oh, this is it. I woke up Leo's dad 3 times. He kept going back to sleep. I was like, I need to go to the hospital. So we called an ambulance. We went to the hospital, and they told me I was 3 centimeters dilated. You check the phone. It's not going.
No, it's calling.
Okay, so I was still throwing up. I was still in pain. I was still contracting. And they told me I had to wait until the doctor got there to, for them to really say anything. But I got my epidural and, I got my IV and all that. So everything was ready for when the doctor got there. When he got there, around the time my machine kept going off, but the nurses weren't paying it any attention. The heart rate machine. So he was like, something isn't right. He was like, the baby's heart rate is dropping, and that my heart rate kept dropping. So he had to hurry up and perform a emergency C-section. I was really, really scared. I felt overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do. All of my family was there, and they looked really, really scared. And I was thinking, throughout my pregnancy about how I was I'm not going to have no C-section. It just wasn't an option to me. I was just nah, I'm going to just push him out, and that's just going to be that. But I had my C-section, and I was not numb all the way. So I was in so much pain. I felt every cut, and I couldn't really say nothing because I was out of it. Like, I felt like I was going to pass out. I was throwing up all over myself while I was on the table. And it was like they were barely even paying attention to me. It was like the whole time they were just paying attention to Leo and getting Leo out of me. But I thought I like closed my eyes and it was like I was about to die. But then Leo's dad came in the room and he was like trying to keep me awake, you know, trying to make sure I was okay. And it was like it ended. Like I started feeling a little bit better, but I was still real tired. And Leo came. Leo was born at 11:37 in the morning. And you know how I healed? Yeah, baby. I healed like 2 weeks later. My little sister, Sarah, she came over to my house and she was helping me for like the first week after I had Leo because, you know, of the C-section. And Lenny, Leo's dad, he was working at the time. So she was a big help to me. But I got back to washing clothes and cooking and stuff like that, like right away. What's wrong?
I thought my home was gone.
So, yeah, that was that. Now Leo's 2 years old. He's energetic, and he drives me crazy. I do not condone in teen pregnancy. I prefer for you to fully have yourself together before you decide that you want to go have a baby. Can you check it again?
Can you smell this?
What is that?
Teeth and gel.
Why do you need teeth and gel?
My gum.
What's wrong with your gum?
It hurt.
No, it don't.
Yes, it do. Yes, it do.
So I think you guys should wait until you're like really, really settled and you're financially where you want to be before you decide to go and have a baby, because it's a lot you're going to want your child to have. Your child has needs and things like that, and it's not fun having to depend on anybody else. So yeah, but my kids don't want for anything. They have, you know, everything they need at all times with the help of a few selected family members. I'm not working now because I don't have a babysitter though. That's the only thing, but I feel like everything happens for a reason. And I'm stuck at home with my babies all the time. Say hey. Say I'm happy. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. My next video will be me and Kavan talking about how we met. If I can get him to sit down and make the video with me. Sarah's like really, I think you waiting for that video. Because she likes the way we met. When I told her in the car the other day, which was on, I think it was Christmas. Yeah, it was Christmas. She was like, oh my gosh, that story is just so adorable. And da-da-da. But yeah, stay tuned for that video, y'all. And then after that, I'll make the video on how I found out I was pregnant with Junior. Make sure y'all hit like and subscribe so I can get my subscribers up. And yeah, that's about it. Turn your notifications on, y'all. My little sister always get her way. But anyway, I started recording again because I forgot to tell y'all my experience working at Burger King while I was pregnant. Dang, girl, you about to take the makeup out my... Ow, girl.
I'm not even doing it as hard as I do mine.
So while I was working... You stabbed me in my head. While I was working at Burger King pregnant,
Look, you got 3 inches.
and while I was working at Burger King pregnant, I was dealing with a lot there. Every day, Leo's dad would go up there to make sure I was okay. I had a lot of beef in there. I had a lot of problems with people in there. Basically, they would call me emotional because I was pregnant, and sometimes I would cry. Yeah, I'm pregnant. Of course, I'm gonna be emotional. But anyways, So yeah, it was like even older people bothering me while I was working there. It was crazy. But it only made me stronger. I thought about even like stopping work, you know, not working anymore earlier in my pregnancy. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to suck it up. I'm going to go to work every day. And I'm going to make this money so my son can have what he needs. I was never spending any of my money I was working for on myself. I was constantly spending money on things that we needed, like laundry detergent, diapers, getting stuff like that. Like, I didn't even have a baby shower for Leo because of, you know, it was just so much going on and I wasn't really talking to people. But, yeah, baby. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe and you turn your notifications on so that way you can know whenever I upload